Everybody, let's come to the edge of our mat. So your mat should be, well, you can place it however you like, but if you place it long ways, such that your side is to the computer, I think you'll get the most out of it, but it just depends on how you want to torque your body. But for the most part, I'm going to have my side to the computer so you can see every part of my body moving. So let's get here. Let's come to the edge of our mat. And I want us to bend our feet into our bottoms, press your knees together, sit up nice and straight and tall, hold on to your legs, take 2 fingers, place them behind each knee, elbows are out, draw your navel into your spine, pull your belly in, curve your lower back, and let's begin to lower ourselves down to the mat. Drawing your navel in, envisioning that your lower back will touch the mat first. Your spine is in a hard C. Your head, neck, and shoulders are forward. We are in no hurry. Our hips are tucked. We're focused on the lower back, touching the mat first. The slower you go, the deeper the work as we begin to recruit our abdominal muscles, finding out where they are today. Release your hands, unfold your spine 1 vertebra at a time, articulating slowly, taking care of your body. Shoulders touch, head touches, arms float all the way up and overhead. Nice straight arms overhead. I want us to bring our left knee up into tabletop position. Bring your right knee up into tabletop position. And I'm going to explain what tabletop position is. So here, tabletop position is when your knees are exactly on top of your hips, absolute straight line, and your feet are in line with your knees. You see me drop them here. So that's a perfect 90-degree angle. This is Joseph Pilates' tabletop position. It was called tabletop position because he thought your shins are so flat in this position that you can literally set a dining table. It's called tabletop position. Perfect 90-degree angle of your legs. You will often see me teaching with my feet slightly higher than my knees. That is West Coast version. I have graduated from 2 schools on both the East Coast and the West Coast. I wanted to see the differences. And so there are some things that I will fuse in that are from the West Coast, from Balanced Body, from Power Pilates. This is one of them that I prefer for my body, where my feet are slightly higher than my knees and outside of the classic position here. This is just what I prefer physiologically. You do what feels good for your body. I'm just giving you these options. This is classic, and this is West Coast. This is one of the positions where I use the variation from the West Coast for no scientific reason. It just feels good to me. This is what feels a little bit more natural to my body. So here we go. Tabletop position. I want your arms up and overhead. Before we start, let's control our core. We do that, if you can look and see my ribs are open, we do that by exhaling and tightening that vest of support. Bringing your ribs down and in and under control, knitting your ribs together, pressing your lower back into the mat, drawing your navel towards your spine. Hold that. Inhale. Lift your head, bringing your chin to your chest. Let your arms float all the way up, floating in the air beside your hips. And let's just dip 1 toe in the water. And then exhale back up. Let's dip another toe in the water. And exhale back up. As we dip our toes in the water, what we're doing here is called footwork. Footwork on the West Coast is called pre-Pilates warm-up. We're just warming up our bodies and getting ready for Pilates. If your neck is fatiguing, place 1 hand behind your neck. Place 2 hands behind your neck or lie yourself completely flat and continue this movement. This is an isolated movement. Just the lever goes down, the lever comes up. If you notice, I'm neither bending my knees nor extending my legs. The angle of my knee never changes. It's a release from the hip. Contract with your abs. Release from your hip. Contract with your abs. Inhale down. Exhale 4. Inhale down. Exhale 3. Inhale down. Exhale 2. Last 1. Down. Exhale up. Place 2 fingers behind each knee. Deepen your curl. Lift, 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 lift. And lower yourself down. Rotate your head from side to side. Place your open palms on top of your knees. And roll your head from side to side, relieving the muscles of your neck. If you haven't done forward flexion movements before, we are working the muscles of your neck, these 2 big strap muscles on either side. They're called the sternocleidomastoids. These are the muscles that are responsible for holding your head up. Our heads are heavy. As we get older, our heads start to drift forward because these muscles become lax. And then as our heavy head drifts forward, it pulls our shoulders forward and we begin to stoop. And so here we are working the muscles of the neck. One of the only forms of exercise where we actively work the neck muscles. It also pulls all the muscles of the jawline back and up. And it prevents this turkey neck, which is an unintended consequence, but that is the benefit in strengthening all of these muscles of the neck. And that is the forward flexion. So we'll continue with that. Knees are in tabletop position, arms are up and overhead. Before we start, let's reach our arms for the back wall, straightening them to their longest length, splaying your fingers open, lifting your shoulders towards your ears, getting your absolute longest arms possible. Stretch, stretch, and release. And now, let's open your shoulders, pulling your shoulders away from one another, creating distance between the clavicles or your collarbones right in the front, pressing your shoulder blades or your scapula down into the mat. Press, press, and release. Keeping your arms straight overhead. Let's start by preparing our core and exhaling, tightening that vest of support, drawing your ribs down and in and under control, drawing your navel towards your spine, pressing your lower back into the mat. Inhale, lift your head, bringing your chin to your chest. Let your arms float all the way up, floating in the air beside your hips. And I want you to dip both toes in the water and exhale back up. Dip both toes, the legs move together. What fundamental are we working on here in Pilates? It's called the concept of the lowest working level. What is your working level for the class today? Meaning, how low can you take your toes, your legs, without your lower back arching off the mat? I want you to fight to keep your lower back in contact with the mat at all times. If you're not able to do that, make this movement smaller. Continue to make it smaller and smaller until your back has contact with the mat. That is your working level. That is as low as you can take your legs safely, because ultimately I want you working in your core and not injuring your back. So here is where we find our working level for the day. How low can we take our legs while keeping our lower back in contact with the mat? Use your breath to help you. We inhale down, exhale 3, inhale down, exhale 2, last 1, down, exhale up. Place 2 fingers behind each knee. Deepen that curl. Lift, 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 lift. And yourself down. Place your open palms on top of your knees, and let's just rotate our head from side to side, relieving the muscles of the neck, working those muscles ever so slightly. Muscles of the neck are important as we get older. Knees are in tabletop position. Arms are up and overhead. Again, let's start by preparing our core. And we do that by exhaling through your mouth. Exhale, tightening that vest of support, bringing your ribs down and in and under control, pressing your lower back into the mat. Hold that. Inhale. Lift your head, bringing your chin to your chest. Let your arms float all the way up, floating in the air besides your hips. Open your knees into a diamond. Heels and balls of the feet are together, and let's lower your diamond and raise your diamond and lower your diamond and raise your diamond. What we are reviewing here in our footwork, classic Joseph Pilates term, or pre-Pilates warm-up from the West Coast, is modification. If at any time we are working with straight legs and it is too much of a strain on your body and you are struggling to keep your lower back on the mat with straight legs, bend your knees into a diamond. And whatever the movement is, continue it from this diamond position that relieves your core and allows you to continue to work. Use your breath. Exhale, 3. Inhale, down. Exhale, 2. Last 1. Down. Exhale, up. Bring your knees together. Place 2 fingers behind each knee. Lift yourself up, 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 up. And lower yourself down. As always, rotate your head from side to side. Let's place your open palms on top of your knees. Drop your heels to your bottom. And let's circle your knees, pulling them away from one another, taking them out to the side, down to the front, and pulling them together, pulling them up to your chest, and then opening them, rolling up and over your back. Close your eyes and try to visualize that the lower half of your body is separated from the top half of your body. They are disconnected. And the lower half of your body is passive, useless. Relax the muscles of your legs. Take your legs out of it. Your legs are heavy, dead weight. All of the work is being done in your arms to support your heavy legs. Your biceps and triceps of your arms are working to support the weight of these legs that are completely useless. Stop here in the middle. Take your legs out in the opposite direction, pulling your knees away from one another, and then pulling them both up to your shoulders, having them meet in the middle, and then as they fall forward, catching them with your hands. Arms are working, legs are passive. Try to focus on this. It's hard to do. Close your eyes. Completely take your legs out of this movement. The arms are moving the legs. One more. Big, 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 big circle. Very, very nice. Let's get ready for our first movement of Pilates now that we're nice and warmed up and we've gone over some of the fundamentals, which will be the hundreds. Knees are in tabletop position. Your tabletop position. This is mine. I like West Coast. Yours may be here. Perfect. This is actually perfect. Joseph Pilates tabletop. I'm actually demonstrating here a variation, but this is what I prefer for my body, but I just want to bring it to your attention. This is the West Coast variation. This is perfect 90-degree Joseph Pilates tabletop position. Knees in tabletop position, arms up and overhead. As always, let's start by exhaling, tightening that vest of support, sliding your ribs down into your back pockets, pressing your lower back into the mat. Hold it. Inhale. Lift your head, bringing your chin to your chest. Let your arms float all the way up, floating in the air besides your hips. Extend your legs out at an angle and begin to pump your arms. And now as our legs are extended, what have we learned in our footwork? Your legs should not be extended lower than your working level. So if your lower back is arched off the mat and you cannot keep your lower back on the mat, take your legs up higher to the ceiling. Or what is your other option? Bend your knees into a diamond. Pump the air vigorously with your arms. Here we go. We're at 50. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. 60. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. 70. Inhale. Exhale. 80. Inhale. Exhale. 90. Inhale. Exhale. 100. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees into tabletop position. Take 2 fingers behind each knee. Deepen that curl. And lower yourself down. Very, very, very nice. Let's place your hands flat on the mat. Let's open your knees into a diamond. And let's just lift your hips up off the mat in a small tuck, just a couple of inches, as we do lower abs, where we tend to get a little bit of a pooch down low in the abs. These are called actually lower ab crunches. I want your hands flat on the mat. And let's get ready to lift our hips and take our diamond up to the ceiling. And let's just tuck and lift, tuck and lift. Each tuck, we're just tucking. We're not peeling our spine up off the mat. We're literally just lifting these hips, working in our lower abs, taking your feet up towards the ceiling as we're bent in this diamond shape. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Let's hold that. If you can, straighten your legs, pointing your toes towards the ceiling. Let's do this again with straight legs. If not, continue with your knees in a diamond. There's no shame in the game. Everybody works at your own level. This is your journey. This is the beauty of doing it virtually. I show you many different variations. You do what you can. And as we're doing these repetitions, you do what you can, and then you rest whenever you need to. And then when you are ready, you jump back into it. And I actually encourage people to rest. I may do a number of repetitions. If you begin to fatigue or your muscles are tired or you become short of breath, I want you just to rest. You rest. This is your journey. If I do 20 and you do 2, then you do 2. And then next week, when you come to class, try to do 4. This is about you getting better, and you are your own barometer of where you are in your journey. So here we are. If you need to rest, I want you to rest. You do what you can. You rest when you need to, and then you just jump back in when you're ready. This is about you. So here we go. Toes are up to the ceiling. If you're opting to do the straight leg, this is actually the full version. As I demonstrated initially with the knees open, that's the modification. We always can modify with our knees open into a diamond, all right? So here we go. Legs straight, hands are flat on the mat, and let's just tuck our hips, working on our lower abs. Lift and lift. Just little lifts, little tucks. We're only picking our hips up just a couple of inches, doing a little tuck, pointing our toes, taking our feet up to the ceiling. If this is very easy for you, turn your palms up and let's do it. Or if you want to challenge yourself, just turn your palms up and continue your tucks. We have 3 more. 3, tuck, 2, lift. Very, very nice. Let's turn your hands flat on the mat. Let's just do 1 circular rotation, keeping your legs together, toes are pointed. Tilt those legs to the right. Your left hip comes up off the mat slightly. Circle them down in front of you, not lower than your working level. Bring them up to the left. And as they come up and over your head, roll up almost to mid-back. And then roll back down onto your left side. Circling your legs through your working level. At this point, your lower back should be on the mat. If it's not, take your legs up higher or what? Bend them into a diamond. Lift, roll down the right side of your spine. I'm demonstrating full form, straight legs, pointed toes, coming through my working level, coming up on the left. Exhale, coming up. One more, rolling down the left side. Legs are moving together as one, sweeping through the middle. My lower back is pressed into the mat, coming up to the right, and then lifting. Very, very, very nice. Let's place your right foot flat on the mat. Let's place your left foot flat on the mat. Knees are together, arms are outstretched. Drop your knees to the right, rotate your head to the left. As we stretch out our abdominal muscles, this is the rectus abdominis and the obliques. Just breathe into your back, keeping your feet in contact with the mat. Hold onto your belly. Exhale, lift your knees. Lower back is on the mat. Allow your knees to drop to the left. Rotate your head to the right. Both shoulder blades are flat on the mat. So we are twisted as we stretch out. Stretching is super important. Exhale, lift your knees. Your feet are flat on the mat and your back is flat on the mat. Press your back into the mat, your lower back. Drop your knees to the right. Rotate your head to the left. Nice big stretch. Again, holding onto your belly. Keeping your feet flat on the mat, keeping them in contact. Lift your knees with your abs. Drop your knees to the left. Rotate your head to the right. Nice big stretch. Shoulder blades are flat, so you are twisted. So we stretch out these abs. Exhale, take your knees to the ceiling and stop. Take your head to the ceiling and stop. Bend your right knee into your chest. Pull it into your chest. Pulling it in. And release. Let's just pull it in again. Nice stretch. And release. Open that right knee out to your right ear. Pull it up. That hip flexor is open. Pull it up to your ear. And release. Let's bring that right knee back to the center. Interlock all 10 fingers on top of that right knee to hold it in place. And then extend that left leg long on the mat. Holding onto that right knee. Want you to close your eyes and pull that right knee in. Exhale. We're in no hurry. Just apply gentle pressure. Blow your breath out. Relax your hip flexors. Close your eyes. Deepen that stretch. And release. Very nice. Let's place that left foot back. We're going to move back into the center of our camera. Both knees are bent. Pull your left knee in. Let's just pull it into your chest. And release again. Let's just pull it into the chest. And release. Open your left knee out to the left ear. Pull it up to your ear. Opening up that hip flexor. And release. Bring it back to the center. Interlock all 10 fingers on top of that left knee. Extend your right leg long on the mat. And now close your eyes. Relax. Exhale. Pull your left knee in. Gentle pressure. Exhaling. Nice stretch. And release. Very nice. Bend your right knee in. Let's hold on to your knee. Pull your head up to your knees. And now holding onto your ankles, pull your hips up, pulling your knees to your head, curl into your tightest ball ever. Tight, 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 tight. And release. Place 2 fingers behind each knee. Let's rock ourselves up. In the time that we have left, Let's do a little bit of our side lying leg series. So here we go. I want us to lie down on our right side with the most points of contact on the mat, meaning I am lying completely flat. My hips are stacked, my knees are stacked, my ankles are stacked, my feet are flexed, hard flexion. I am in a completely straight line, 180 degrees. No part of me is externally rotated. My entire body is in parallel, meaning that it is facing forward. Let's take this top leg and let's just lift it. We're just lifting this top leg for a count of 20. We're at 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Keep that top leg suspended. Flex your feet. Let's bring your bottom leg up to meet it. 2, 3, 4. As we're bringing this bottom leg up, pull your belly in. Nice, strong core and torso. And we're lifting this bottom leg as we keep the top leg suspended in the air. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your top leg suspended. Point your toes, and let's do small rotations. Small circles. As we do these, small circles, I want you to control and contain these circles. And you do that because you visualize that your leg begins not at your hip, but at your umbilicus, at your belly button, at the center of your gravity. That's where it emanates, that's where it starts, that's where it begins. Therefore, this is a really, really, really long leg. We tuck the hips under and control these circles. Let's go in the opposite direction. Small circles. If your hips are tucked and your belly is pulled up and you're thinking that your leg is starting from your belly button, your leg movement then for these circles is restricted. It's hard to make this a big movement. And actually the smaller movements are harder. They're harder to control and harder to constrain. Small movements, big changes. Let's stop. Very nice. Let's do a little bit of range of motion. Développé, bringing your knee in. Extend to the ceiling. And then flex down. Développé, point up, flex down. Développé. As we do these movements, you'll notice that we do a lot of pointing and flexing. Not only do we do that out of vanity, it looks nice, it makes the movements beautiful, but it also works our legs. Let's do the opposite. Let's flex up, point to your knee, extend. It also works your legs and works the muscles of your legs even while you're doing other big movements as we are here. We are flexing and kicking up. Enveloppé and extend. Flex up, enveloppé, extend. Let's point straight up, battement, and then flex down. We'll point up, battement, flex down. We point up, flex down. This is one of the few really big movements in Pilates. I wanted to make sure we reviewed it. Let's do the opposite. Flex up, point down. Flex up, kick your leg as far as it can go. This is one of the few movements that is not controlled in Pilates. Doing it here, very nice. Let's just bend our knees into our chest. Take our feet up in the air. And let's just close out this side with clam, opening and closing our knees.
Hey, who's introducing?
Opening and closing.
Okay.
Working on clam. So we work our hips. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Extend your legs. Come up onto your right forearm. Bend your left foot in front. Your right leg is long on the mat and flexed. And if you look at my position, this is not a good position for my torso. I'm kind of hanging out as if I'm on the beach. I really don't want to start any movements from this position. I want my muscles to be long and lean. I don't want to be short and contracted. So I don't kind of want to start here. I want to push away with this right elbow, and that straightens that right shoulder. Look at that. And then I want to push away with that right shoulder, and it opens my chest. Here is where I want to start this movement. Even though the movement is about my lower body, my upper body needs to be in good position. And this is the way I want my muscles to develop as well. And these are how we develop the good habits. So from here, even though this is about the lower leg, we're going to lift this lower leg. As we're lifting this leg, we are working the gracilis muscle. That is a small sliver of a muscle that wraps around the inner knee and comes up across the inner thigh. You almost never can work this muscle outside of Pilates, but it's important in keeping your thighs lifted on the inside. And here you are in Pilates getting gracilis work. Where else do you get that, honestly? 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's go to the other side. We're going to lie on our left side. And again, I want to emphasize that you do what you can, and then you rest when you want, including if you just want to watch me and think about it. And then you jump back in when you're ready. We're in a straight line, lifting this top leg, closing out. So we have a few minutes to talk. This will be the identical movement as we did on the other side. My head is lifted so that I can talk with you all. This is a more advanced movement, but actually we should be doing it here with the most points of contact on the mat. Keep your top leg lifted. Let's bring your bottom leg up to meet it. Very nice. For those of you who may be more advanced, you can challenge your balance by lifting one arm up. And balance is really the layman's term in Pilates for core. This challenges your core strength. Where are you in core strength, and whether or not you need the support of this hand? That's just for those who want to try, who have a lot of background in dance or ballet and may want to try something further. You can feel free to have this arm up and stretching to the ceiling. But if you have it up, it can't be lax. It needs to be, you need to own that. Have your arm up and stretching, nice, long, lean arms. As we're pointing our toes, making nice circles, pulling your hips under, lifting your belly, and controlling this movement. So if you look at me, I'm not rolling, everything is not moving around. My core is tight and engaged, and I'm controlling this movement. Let's do the opposite. Circling our toes in the opposite direction. Pointed toes. Very nice. Minimizing any movement that may be occurring in your upper torso by tucking your hips and drawing your belly in and making the circle small. Very good. Range of motion, développé. Point to the ceiling. Flex down, développé. Get a big extension. Flex down, drawing your knee in. Point up. Flex down. We're at 4. Get a big extension. Last one. And let's do the opposite. Let's flex up, envelope, extend, flex up, bend, extend. We're flexing, pointing, extend. Last one. Let's just point straight up, kicking high and hard, bottom up. Flex down, point up, flex down. We're just kicking, big freedom of movement. Let's do the opposite. Last one, flexing up, pointing down. The flex and the point are important because they're working the calves and the ankles even while we're working the rest of the legs. This is why dancers have such beautiful legs. Very nice. Let's bend your knees in, into your chest, feet are together, up in the air, opening and closing your knees, rotating your feet around one another as if they're on a hinge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's extend our legs, come up onto this left forearm. Legs are straight. Bend your right foot in front of you. And remember, actually, as I see myself in the camera, this is not a bad position, but it's not great. I'm still slouchy, and I really don't want my body to develop this way. So this can be better. And how do I make it better? I push away with that left elbow and straighten my shoulder. And then I push away with my shoulder and open up my chest. That is a perfect position. This is how we always want to present ourselves to the world. Flex your feet and lift. Bottom 1, working that ever elusive gracilis muscle, thin muscle, wrapping around the knee, up across the inner thigh. Gets very lax as we get older because we don't ever use it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very, very nice. Let's sit up. And let's just do a little bit of a piriformis stretch. I like to stretch us out. Take your left ankle over your right knee. Bend your right knee in. Walk your feet as close as you can to your bottom. And let's roll your knees to the right. Push your chest up. Bring your knees back to the center. Roll them to the left. Pushing up. Back to the center. Extend your legs. Legs are beside one another. Take your right knee, right ankle over the left knee. Bend that left knee in. You'll probably notice one side is tighter than the other. At least on my body, there's one side that's always tighter. Rolling to the right, coming back up. And that's just the way my body is. I have one side that's always tight, which lets me know this is how I'm actually using my body during the day. And extend. Very, very nice. Let's straddle our legs. Sitting up nice and tall. Get a big stretch over to the side. Big stretch, 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 stretch. Rotate your heart towards your thigh. Reach all 10 fingers for your toes. Come back to the side. Big stretch. Lift yourself up. Let's go to the other side. Nice sweeping movement. Over to the side. Rotating your heart towards your thigh. Reach all 10 fingers for your toes. Coming back to the side. Lift yourself up. And let's just walk your hands out. Walking them out as a panther is stalking its prey. Walk out as far as you can. Feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Walk, 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 walk. Go as far as you can. Lift yourself up. Bring your legs together. Big sweeping movement of your arms. Come over, hold on to your feet, hold on to your legs, bend your elbows, pull yourself down. One final big stretch. And release. One sweeping movement of your arms. Final one, big port de bras. Inhale deeply through your nose. Feel your lungs expand. Feel your diaphragm descend. And as you come over, exhale through your mouth. Very nicely done. Draw your fingertips from your toes. Draw your forehead from your knees. Draw your navel towards your spine. Stack your vertebrae one at a time on top of one another as you straighten your spine. Lift your shoulders up. Roll them down in the back. Continue the rotation of your face until it's looking at the ceiling. Have your arms outstretched. Rotate your palms up. Big reach behind you. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And let's return to neutral. Sitting up nice and straight and tall as if our backs are against an invisible wall. Very nice. I think we have a few minutes to go. And actually what I will say to you all is that was actually a pretty good workout. I actually put you all through some good paces. So that's a great example of Pilates. And
And I will also tell you that was not so much of a beginner's class either, somewhat between beginners and intermediate. And I moved you all pretty quickly. So that's a great example of what the actual class is. It's not harder, and it's somewhat maybe even a little easier, but it's certainly not harder than that. So hopefully you all got a good stretch and your muscles will feel good, and you will feel good later today and tomorrow, and certainly mentally with all the things that you've been able to do for yourselves. So that's really it